Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 37 of the Break-Thru Active podcast. As always, I'm here with Mitch. How are you?
Morning, mate. I'm doing well. We haven't done this one for the last few weeks. So I'm excited to get into today's topic. I think it is starting to become a lot more relevant for a lot of people and something that, we have spoke about in previous years, but I think it will resonate with a lot of people, especially given the time of the year.
We aim to do one podcast each week, but like the rest of you, we're starting to go away here and there. And Mitch went camping last weekend, so we would endeavour to do our best to keep producing one podcast per week. And today's topic, I've been asked this 15 times this week, and today's topic is eating and drinking during Christmas. What should you do? And for me, and I think for you too, there are really three options.
Yeah, we get asked it quite a bit, especially this time of the year, because people starting to have more, social events, end of year Christmas parties. We've got our Christmas parties coming up the next couple of weekends, starting to gather around with friends and family, and a lot of people are finishing up work for the year. So it is something that, especially for those of you who are training throughout the year and trying to eat healthy and trying to keep things in balance there, it is something that can be, I guess, a bit of a stressor for some people when they see a few events on the calendar that are upcoming and wondering how they are able to manage these events and still be able to train and eat well around those events. So like Jamie mentioned, we have knuckled it down to three different ways, I guess, people approach this. The first way that people approach it is the effort mentality, or the bucket mentality, where they just completely go off the rails for maybe the whole month of December or close to it, and then into January as well. So they completely give up on training, they completely give up on their nutrition, and really just don't give a care about anything, during those months, because they feel as though since they've got a few social things on, they're going to be going away, they've got Christmas time, New Year, everything else, that it's just not worth their time to even bother. Spoiler alert, that's not what we advise people to do. The second one, and we will be going into each of these in more detail, but the second way that people approach it is they will actually deprive themselves of food and sort of, I guess, maybe if they know that they've got something coming up in the evening, then they will more or less not eat throughout the whole day, in turn, trying to still keep within their calorie range within that day. So they will deprive themselves of breakfast and lunch and really just go out for dinner, or, wait around for dinner time to have all their daily amount of calories in one meal. And again, that's not something that, we advise. And the third way, which, we are both believers in and both advocates for, is just like it is through the rest of the year, and that's balance. And, there are going to be times that you are eating in excess and eating foods and drinking things that you maybe don't normally do, but that's all okay, because it is only one time of the year. And as you'll hear from us soon, it is only a very small part of the year, and it shouldn't be something that can make or break all your progress and all your gains throughout the previous 11 and a half months.
Well, let's discuss the first option, which is that fuck it mentality. You'd be shockingly surprised of how much damage you can actually do in a month. If you have been doing the right thing the majority of the year, you've been training 3-4 times a week, you've been getting your steps up, you've been eating good food, drinking your water, sleeping well, and then for the next 30 days, you drink lots of alcohol day after day after day, you stop training, it's an all-out assault on every bit of food in your house and outside of your house. That is the complete wrong way to do it. Not only will you drastically reduce the results you've been working hard to achieve, imagine just how bad you're going to feel January 1 when you do go to get that contract. You can completely lose all that motivation and all that discipline that you build up over the last 12 months.
I think for a lot of people as well, it doesn't stop on January the 1st.
Yeah.
Because, obviously the whole New Year's resolution thing is something that, is part of society. But for a lot of people, that's just when things are getting started. That might be when they do have, a 2-week holiday with their family, or they are still off work. So they're a bit out of routine, and, you are able to sleep in a little longer so you can have a few drinks the night before. So it doesn't even always necessarily finish at the end of December. So it can end up going well into January and sometimes into February when the kids go back to school. So, but even if it was just, say 1 month, you can do a lot of damage. And it's the same mentality that a lot of people have come Friday night. They might have something, some takeaway on Friday night, and they feel awful about themselves. And then they think that same mentality, they think, fuck it, this weekend's a complete write-off. I'm going to eat whatever I want on Saturday and Sunday and get back into it Monday. But you can do, like I said, that's 2 days out of your 7 that you haven't cared. In the same way, it's a whole month out of your 12. And not only are you not eating well, but instead of eating well, you're eating poorly. And instead of training well, you're not training at all. So it's a complete opposite to what your body's used to. And your body can go into shock. So it's something that we do hear about sometimes begrudgingly. People won't care to admit it too much, but maybe it is when we see them again in the new year and they say, I've done next to nothing the last 6 weeks, and you can see it. They're out of energy. They've put on some weight. They've lost their strength. They look stressed. They're unable to keep up in workouts. And as Jamie knows this as well, it is hard to get back in the swing of things when you have had that much time off, when you've been eating whatever you want, when you do sit down to that plate of meat and veggies come January, you're not really even wanting to eat it at that point. You're wanting to give your taste buds the explosion that they've been having the last 6 weeks, and it's hard to get back into the swing of things. So it's something we do hear of people doing, but really feel as though you are making things incredibly difficult for yourself and really starting on the back foot for the new year if you're one of those people that are approaching December and the holiday season like that.
Okay, option 2. So option 1, do not do that. Option 2 is to completely stay on track, stick to the plan, deprive yourself, and that might be by what you mentioned, calorie restriction throughout the day and then going off for dinner. Or even worse than that, I believe, is just if you are so, consumed by that goal or so consumed by what you're trying to achieve, it can actually ruin Christmas. It really can. Like, if you've got 5 things that you have to attend between now and the new year, and every one of those events, like a Christmas party, your work Christmas party, Christmas Day itself, Boxing Day, you should be looking forward to. You should be excited to spend time with friends and family. You should be celebrating the year that's been, even though it's been pretty shit 2020. But if you're letting your food and alcohol and just the thought of that get in the way of a good time, then that's also not the right thing to do. Well, in our opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm not going to name names here, but I sent you a screenshot the other day of something I saw on Facebook. It's someone who's been in our network for quite a few years, and they have always battled with their weight and their nutrition and their diets and everything else. Currently, they're doing a shake diet, which they've done the last little while. And someone asked them if they wanted to do something on the weekend, and they said, no, sorry, I'm doing this diet. So they are completely restricting themselves from even doing anything social because they have limited themselves with what they can have. Keeping in mind, the last 11 months would have been the first person to jump at the bit to do anything social. And now come holiday season, a good time to be catching up with friends and family, go out for a few drinks, go out for dinner, go out for lunch, whatever it may be. And people are there to say no because they picked the wrong time of the year to try and make a change. And I truly believe that. You do need to take into consideration timing with these things. And if you do have a handful of social events and Christmas parties and Christmas, celebrations coming up, probably not a great time to start a shake diet.
Well, last year I spent 16 weeks dieting very, very hard. And I went 42 days, like not on shakes, but I was 42 days on track. I was clean. I did not budge once. And those 42 days were challenging. And I did that. And it's silly. And I was, every weekend I was looking forward to just time with Ellen and time off work. But I wasn't looking forward to going out for dinner and having to get something that I didn't really want to eat. And then as much as we love health and fitness, as much as food is so important, good food, like drinking with your friends, is such a large part of life that we should all really look forward to and really enjoy. And especially at Christmas, especially if you've been social distancing all year and you haven't been seeing your friends and family, go see them. Go see your friends and family and enjoy yourself. But you can enjoy yourself and not have that fuck it mentality, which is going to be the third option.
Well, before we move on to that third one, health goes a lot further than just training and nutrition. A big part of health is mental health, and that comes back to the relationships you have and the experiences you share. So if you are eating well and training well, but you're not seeing anybody and you're saying no to social events and you're missing out on things, and that's not a healthy way to approach things either. So you need to look at the broad realm of it a little more than just focusing on nutrition and training, especially at this time of the year. If there is ever going to be a time when maybe you are a little bit off, off plan, or, a little bit out of, routine, I know I'm going to be the next few weeks. We've got 2 parties coming up. I've got several Christmas celebrations. So it's going to be a lot. I'm going to be consuming a lot more calories than I do in November, but I'm okay with that because I know come next year, it's going to be fine.
And let's just say that you do what we're suggesting and you deprive yourself. Or sorry, let's go the other way. Let's say that you don't deprive yourself and you do the third option, which is just do it intelligently. You might put yourself back 2 or 3 weeks. Like literally, if you're working hard towards, let's say, a fat loss goal, and you spend the next month just enjoying yourself or eating just a regular amount of food, like in 3 or 4 or 5 years' time, you're really going to think back about, oh, you got to your goal 1 week faster or 2 weeks faster, or is it that time that you spend with your loved ones over Christmas?
Yeah, I completely agree. And if your goal isn't fat loss, it isn't going to even set you back that far.
No.
You might feel like shit for a few sessions after you've had a bit of time off and eaten and drank a little more than usual. And then it'll be like you never left. So look at the big picture. And that's kind of what we're going to get into with this third point, which is being intelligent about how we approach this time of the year. And like Jamie just mentioned, there are going to be things that come up, and you should not be trying to avoid those things because of your health. Look back over the course of the year. I'm sure there's been plenty of times when you have done it, and maybe they were the times that you could have said no, but certainly not at this time of the year when there's friends and family and people you might not have seen all year. And like Jamie said as well, 2020 has been a crappy year and haven't had a chance to do a lot of that.
I know that's actually your pet peeve. I know it is, where like we'll have friends and they'll be dieting and you haven't seen the friend for a month or 2 months. You want to catch up. You want to even work out, then go have lunch, but they don't come because they're dieting. And it's just like that single gym workout and meal with your friend is not the reason why you're not going to be in shape in 6 months. It is every other time that you've gone off that diet when you've been sitting at home on your own with nothing to do.
Yeah, when the week before they probably went and had pizza for lunch through the week by themselves, and they could have easily have substituted that meal, knowing that this was coming up. But that's a whole nother rant that I'll say.
A great example is like we haven't been drinking much at all this year, but typically when I drink vodka, lime, and soda, which is the more intelligent drink because it's 68 calories. But tomorrow night, this is the second time I've drunk all year. We're going to Kyber Sports Club. There's cocktails all night long. I am having so many cocktails of espresso martinis, mango ones, I'm having them all. I don't care because I've done the right thing throughout the year.
Exactly right. And tomorrow night's not the time to be worried about that. If you want to have a few cocktails and it's not going to leave its imprint on you for months and months and months. But again, that is an intelligent way about going about it. What wouldn't be intelligent would be you doing that tonight and then you not caring tomorrow through the day and then eating hangover food all day Sunday, and then all of a sudden 2.5 days of completely blown out. That Friday night, that Saturday morning can be completely avoided. You can eat as normal. You can enjoy yourself Saturday night. Might feel a bit under the weather Sunday. Enjoy some greasy fast food to help you feel a bit better, and then get back into it Monday. And then feel as though that's a good, healthy way to approach things.
And the whole point behind option 3 is if you do it intelligently, it just basically means control what you can control. And for you, that might be Monday to Friday, your working week when the kids are at school, your husband's working. Just do your best to stay on plan, whatever your plan is. And then on the weekend, enjoy yourself. Do not sabotage the entire week, Monday to Friday, and then also enjoy yourself. The other thing too that you're going to talk about too is if you do the right thing, if you train hard, if you eat healthy throughout the week, I am looking forward to tomorrow night so much because I haven't drunk or not. You can drink whenever you want, but the point is I haven't drunk much at all this year. I've been really good with my food and my training, so tomorrow night I'm letting the horses out. But as Mitch said, I'm not going to let the horses out today at lunch when I'm at home alone with my dogs.
No. And I think you enjoy it a little bit more when you know that you've been smart about it. And not to say that you've restricted yourself at all, but obviously, you've been intelligent about that. Now we've got an event on, and it's going to be a good time, and there's going to be nothing limiting you for tomorrow night, and nor will it next week with our other Christmas parties. So there's a time and a place for it, and I think Jamie hit the nail on the head when you control what you can. There are going to be times when it's pretty much out of your control whether you're going to be eating healthy or not. You go around to someone's house for dinner and they've got nothing but unhealthy stuff, and there's desserts there and snacks and everything, and that might be something that you overeat, and that's fine. But when you're at home through the week and you have complete control over all your nutrition, that's when you should really be knuckling down, knowing that there are going to be a few more of those other events throughout the next couple of weeks that you may not have complete control over.
Yep. And at the end of the day, let's just say that across the month you have 20 events. That's the last day at work lunch. That is the night at the work Christmas party, the gym Christmas party, your husband's work's Christmas party. If you eat 5 times a day over the entire month, that's 185 times. It's 20 meals. It's like, what's that percentage? Mathematician? 10%. 10%. So 10% of your meals aren't going to be optimal, and that's fine. But it just cannot be 50%. Or for some people on option 1, the fuck up mentality, be 90 to 100%. If you have 10% of your meals that aren't optimal, that's fine.
Exactly right. And that's why it's important not to just blow it all off and start again next week or start again next month. Do what you need to do. Have a night out. Enjoy yourself. Be hungover. Feel sorry for yourself the next day. And the following day, you can get back into the swing of things, and you can really limit that sort of damage. You've got the best of both worlds then. You've enjoyed yourself. You've gone out. You've been with friends and family. But then also you're not feeling like a piece of shit because you're back into the swing of things a few days later. And I think that's something we underestimate, how bad people actually feel about themselves when they're not training and they are eating bad.
Yeah.
So do yourself a favor, all in balance. And we say that a lot, but we feel as though, especially this time of the year, you don't want to be saying no to anything that you would legitimately be enjoying, but also don't completely go off the rails. Keep coming to the gym, keep training, eat well throughout the week, and then enjoy yourself on the weekends.
Yeah, and just the biggest point from this podcast is don't feel guilty at these events if you've done the right thing. You should feel guilty if you've eaten shit all week, but don't feel guilty if you've done the right thing, you've been looking forward to it and going ahead. It's a great time of year to be around with your friends and family, and your health and fitness goals. You're not going to go backwards. You might be at maintenance for 3 or 4 weeks, and maintaining during this period is fine, because having fun with your friends and family is far, far more important.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to the rest of the month. It's going to be fantastic to have a few parties, and I do love all the different types of Christmas foods. I'm thoroughly looking forward to that as well.
Now, before we wrap it up, mate, let's just say there might be a 4th option, and that is to not fuck it, not deprive yourself, do it intelligently, but do it a little bit more intelligently for maybe that person who is still a little bit conscious. My advice to you would be simple. My advice would be get your butt to the gym. My advice would be head out for a walk in the sun and just be active around those events.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably this is more 3 and 4 are close, but I think we're probably more towards this 4th option, where if we know that we've got something on the Saturday night, we'll go out of our way to be a little bit more active on the Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Knowing that we aren't going to be, we are going to be eating and drinking in excess that night, and probably not doing anything on the Sunday. So going out of our way, and that's more of, I guess, just making me feel good about it as well, knowing that, I've worked hard in the morning, I'm going to enjoy myself in the afternoon. And if that is something, like I said, if you are still a little bit uneasy about that, then we feel as though that definitely makes a difference in how you feel when you are at that event that night. You feel like you've earned it a little more and can definitely enjoy yourself a little more.
And following on from our healthy eating challenge that we just did, on that day that you have that event, I would recommend that you do the 3 things that we recommended. That would be drink plenty of water before the night of the party. I would have 350 grams of fruit, 350 grams of vegetables. Make sure you're getting your vitamins and minerals. and I'd also have at least 2 servings of protein.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially on those days, I think they're a big thing. And the water's an easy one because that's going to make you feel 10 times better the next day.
Yeah. I'm so scared of the hangover. I went and bought Baroccas yesterday. I'm going to have Baroccas all around my bedroom just to prepare myself for Sunday.
Yeah, good. Saturday night when you get home. Get it in here.
Oh, all right, guys. Anything else, Mitch?
No, that's it. Like I said, looking forward to tomorrow night. Looking forward to our other party the following week. And looking forward to spending some time with everyone outside of the gym and then seeing all my friends and family over Christmas time too. It's a great time of the year.
I agree. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a lovely, lovely day.
Thanks, guys.